Hi, this is Joel Berman with Mortgage News Network. We're at NAMB National in Las Vegas, and I have the pleasure to be with Les Acree, who is the Executive Vice President of Freedom Mortgage. Welcome, Les, and I'd like to ask you, one of the first things I want to hit off with this interview is, what brings you here to NAMB National and supporting the National Association of Mortgage Brokers, the Association of Mortgage Professionals?
Well, Freedom has been in the wholesale business for many years. We're a significant player, particularly on the government side. Freedom's the #1 VA lender in the country. We're the largest Ginnie Mae issuer, and many of our customers here. And we believe it's important to support NAMB, the industry, and if our customers are going to be here, we should be here and connect with our customers.
Now, the mortgage broker, over the years, from 2007 to the present, has suffered quite a bit. They were the poster child of predatory lending unfairly and so on. Their numbers dwindled greatly. Where do you think they are now, and where do you think the mortgage broker is going to be going as the years go on? And will the big four lose their shine and the mortgage broker pick up that vacuum?
Well, at one point, I believe the mortgage broker was responsible for more than 70% of all originations. And of course, during the mortgage meltdown, for lack of a better term, obviously that percentage shrunk to a single-digit number. Now that number's on the rise. We believe it's going 25 to 30% of originations now. And I believe the future for the mortgage broker, when you look at the compliance that's been layered into our industry and the requirements to originate a loan, process a loan, underwrite a loan, close a loan, the advantage the mortgage broker has today is the wholesaler assumes most of that liability. In other words, we make sure the LE is correct, we make sure the loan is underwritten correctly, we make sure the loan is funded correctly, we make sure the CD is correct, and we make sure everything is compliant on the loan. And that we align ourselves with our broker's needs in that we help protect our broker and help cover them from a compliance liability standpoint, and all they need to do is go sell. If they originate the loan and originate that loan correctly and accurately with a complete application, there'll be a wholesaler there to back them up and run that loan and make sure that that loan is compliant. So I believe the mortgage broker going forward can focus on sales and align themselves with a wholesaler such as Freedom, and we'll make sure that everything else is handled appropriately.
Now, you mentioned that C word, that compliance. Now, as far as where we are right now in the industry and what Dodd-Frank and CFPB have developed in terms of increased cost and time and effect during the entire process, what do you feel moving into 2017 with new leadership in the White House? What could be done to kind of improve it both for the consumer as well as the mortgage industry, and in particular the wholesale side?
Well, I believe the biggest thing going forward with compliance and the CFPB is clarity of regulations. When companies like ourselves and other companies have to have a team of compliance and legal people in a room to read a reg over and over and over to try to understand what we think that reg means or how we have to be compliant with that reg, we believe that that reg is written in an unfair manner. We believe there's such a certain amount of ambiguity in that regulation, and what that does is create uncertainty in the industry, and it creates uncertainty of process, and it creates no continuity of process, and therefore that adds to cost. And anytime you have uncertainty and you don't know how exactly to comply, or there's questions as to how to comply, then you do the best you can. In our industry, and at Freedom, we're very good rule followers. When we know what the rules are, and the rules are clear, we follow them to the letter of the law with our processes. We have edits in our system. We have internal and external audits to make sure that we're being compliant to protect us and our customer. But when there's ambiguity in the regs, then it creates uncertainty for everybody. That adds to expense, it adds to cycle time, and I believe the consumer is not being served justly by that, and I believe the mortgage broker and the wholesaler, you have extended cycle times and extended costs simply by the rules not being clear to everyone.
Now, you're here to support the mortgage brokerage community. What do you feel you could say, and I know you also support the NAMB Wholesale Summit, to try to increase market share for wholesale, to try to increase compliance and profitability. So you have a total commitment to the wholesale market and the mortgage broker. For the mortgage broker that's not here at NAMB National and that doesn't belong to the NAMB, as well as their loan officers, do you think there's a value for them to be part of it?
Absolutely. If you're going to make a living as a mortgage broker, and this industry is going to be how you make a living, then I encourage everybody to support the industry, to support NAMB, to understand what NAMB tries to do for the broker, to from a compliance standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, to how you gain market share, to how you recruit people. NAMB, I think, is invaluable to the mortgage broker. And if you're going to be in this industry, then you ought to support the organization that supports you.
That's it from NAMB National in Las Vegas with Les Acree and Freedom Mortgage. Get off the sidelines and get in the game and become a NAMB member. Thank you.
This is Mortgage News Network.